What I tell you in this video isn't meant to frighten or scare you. My goal is to simply inform you, let you know what you can do to avoid what might already be here and what might be too late. But there is still a chance that you can escape some of this dystopian nightmare coming down the pipeline. Today's video is all about something that we are continually stressing about here at Simply Bitcoin: the dangers of statism. It is wrong and immoral for one group of people or persons to have control over the lives of other human beings. It is a disgusting, filthy, horrible practice that can be only called one thing: slavery. And Bitcoin is the escape hatch that more and more people are going to use. Like, subscribe, comment below, share the good quality content so we can get these ding-dang bots out of here and keep the conversation going. We're going to ease into this one. We're going to start with a tweet from Alden. Lynn says, "Over the long term, most money is clearly going digital. The question is closed and permissioned CBDCs or open source Bitcoin and its competitors. So when you look forward a couple decades, you need to err one way or the other. You can't realistically assume the status quo." Now, the next thing I'm going to play as we go deeper into this is a bit from a Russell Brand clip. The video is titled, "Within 30 days, this will change the world forever." FedNow just came out, and it has often been called the Trojan horse of CBDCs. Let's look at how they, the people behind this thing, sell it to us.
Just like paper dollars, a central bank digital currency, or CBDC, would be issued by the Federal Reserve. Those pushing for it say it would have several advantages over physical money. They say it could be used to fight inflation because the Fed would have more direct control over the money supply.
Hey man, inflation, that's like just prices going up, and I used to be all about that hot pocket game, and I mean they're so expensive. I gotta get those knockoff pockets, and they're kind of mushy. So if like the government could come in and control the money and make the hot pockets, reasonable again, then what's to be mad about?
What's to be mad about is control, that anybody has control over your money. Think about this in a much smaller scale. Think about the place that you work at. That you go there, you put in your time, you punch in, you clock in, however it looks to you, and your boss gives you money. Now imagine they say, I'm sorry there, Del, the money on that paycheck, it has to be spent in this way. You're like, what do you mean it has to be spent how?
The ability to track transactions has a couple of elements that are very attractive to economic policymakers. One is to know where people are spending their money.
If you on any level think that this is a good idea, how do you get there? How do you get to the place where you think, oh yes, somebody else should be telling me what to do? Only somebody suffering from the extremes of Stockholm syndrome would think this.
Backers say the U.S. needs a digital dollar if it wants to remain the world's reserve currency.
Banks have really a ton of power that people don't realize to shut down accounts, to freeze accounts, and to end up holding them for really any number of reasons.
Any number of reasons. That's pretty broad. So if you don't like black hats with orange lettering on it and black hoodies that say Simply Bitcoin on it, then hey, I guess we're just gonna freeze those accounts, right? Does that seem like a good idea to you on any level? Those are clips that I took from Russell's video, and now we're going to hear what Russell himself has to say on some of these points.
Now we're in a space where everything is shifting. No one knows who they are or what they are or what's right and wrong or what it's okay to say or where it's okay to go and what's good and what's bad.
It's almost as though we're being treated like children, being warbled around, confused about the world, so that we'll say, "Mommy, Daddy, government, tell me what's okay." And they go, "Oh, pat, little Johnny, little Timmy, it's okay, you can buy that."
Well, that's exactly what I need, man. Like, I go through every day completely confused. I don't know what's going on anymore. Like, I go to the store and I get the stuff that I want to get when the money works, and it says get the ones with the green label, and I get the ones with the green label, and then it tells me and then I go home and I eat the goo, and then it goes, and life is really good.
And some people are out here saying, oh no, they would never do that to me. My beautiful government, my wonderful country loves me. It cares for me. All it wants is what's best for me. They trust the science, man. Apparently, there's some sort of legal wacky loophole that allows the government to spy, to watch its citizens within a certain range of the border, because we got to protect the borders. Okay, I understand that, but do you need to watch the borders and then another few hundred miles inland?
Mariana might sound alarmist, but the jurisdiction of CBP doesn't just apply to migrants or those living along the border. It extends 100 miles inland,
100?
leaving 2/3 of the U.S. population susceptible to potential surveillance.
What? 100 miles inland? Take a look at this map. Look at this. This is almost the majority of California. This is where most of the people are living. All of the eastern seaboard, all of Maine, New Hampshire. This is a significant portion of the U.S. population that just falls into this loophole that can be monitored. So now we've got the government monitoring us for, I don't know how long this has been going on. They're watching our transactions. Where does it end? A digital version of the British pound may feature a way to verify the holder's age and citizenship status. The holder's age, the holder of the money. So they're watching who's holding it, potentially smoothing. They're doing it to smooth the purchase of alcohol and tobacco in transactions with government agencies. The Bank of England has hired digital payments platform Nuggets. I definitely trust a place called Nuggets with my privacy. Absolutely. Yes. Policymakers step up preparations for the currency dubbed Britcoin. What? That's such a, oh my, Britcoin. What an ingenious, clever, where did they possibly come up with that? That's so, oh, it's so good. You can prove of age without demonstrating age, he said. There's other assets that you can demonstrate. Are you a UK citizen on your passport? And so on. There's numerous scenarios that you could demonstrate for that. This guy comparing money, just the thing that we transact with a passport, which is a government invention, is not the same at all. Money is a human invention. It's something that we all, as a species, use to transact our energy and time. But a passport is a government invention. This is from Politico. Social media platforms like TikTok and Snapchat will face possible shutdown when they don't crack down on problematic content during riots under the European Union's content law. Internal Commissioner Thierry Breton said Monday. Pop quiz time. Who defines problematic?
Bro, what are you, stupid? The government tells you what the problems are. They tell you on your phone when it's a problem, and they tell you not to do it, and you don't do it because they say what the problems are, man. They know.
When there is hateful content that calls, for example, for revolt, that also calls for killing and burning of cars, they will be required to delete the content immediately, Breton said in the interview on France Info. Breton also said the commission will carry out a stress test on TikTok next week to check how ready it is to comply with the new rules. Twitter has already done a test, and Meta has agreed to be tested this month. Right now, please test me right now. Yes, test me.
If it isn't obvious by now, these people, the people in control, know no limits. They will always claw for everything more. They won't stop until we're locked into gulags, lashed to chains, and then it'll be entertaining for them to beat us and whip us because that'll just be what they do for fun. How many stories throughout history do we need to be told through fact and fiction to learn this message? Those in control never stop taking. The only way to make it end is to resist, to find some sort of escape hatch. And if our best escape hatch, our best escape pod right now is Bitcoin, I would suggest looking into learning how to operate said escape pod, because it might become vital to our very success as a human species.